Welcome. My name is Mr. Campbell. I am going to give here in this video a quick testimony of how I was able to come out of a 30-year cocaine addiction. Back in the 1980s, I know that I look a lot younger than this, but back in the 1980s, cocaine was a prevalent drug, especially in the lifestyle that I was living. And as a result, I became a cocaine addict, and that eventually turned into a crack cocaine addict, of which I did for many, many years. Throughout the addiction, I had become in relationship to the drug. The drug was more of a relationship, almost like a spouse, to be quite honest with you, almost like a best friend. I say best friend. I if you have a friend like that, you don't need any enemies. But it truly was a relationship that I was having with this addiction, and that's what I believe addictions are. I believe that they are relationships. But after several years, I got involved with a woman and spent 18 years with her. And, eventually the daily use, because I was, making a lot of money, I was able to consume large amounts. And eventually that, faded, and it became a weekend thing. In other words, I became a weekend warrior. Only getting high on the weekends and working throughout the week and trying to live that normal existence. It looked good from the outside, but it certainly wasn't what it appeared. With that being said, for many, many years, I was just, working and getting high on the weekends and working, getting high on the weekends. And I used to pray a lot, even, though I wasn't a born-again Christian at this point. Certainly not a born-again Christian as I know one to be today. I would pray, I would get high, and then the next day I would wake up so depressed and so upset with myself. Because I felt that I had better self-control. I felt that I was stronger than that I was smarter than that. That how could I, after everything that I had been through in my life, be taken out by something like cocaine. It bothered me. So I prayed regularly. And, I didn't even know what I was praying for. I was just praying to be able to get off the drug. I had no concept. I did some drug rehab meetings, some of those Cocaine Anonymous or, the drug meetings. And I'm not saying they don't work, but for me, I felt as though I didn't want to put my addiction on show for other addicts and turn it into some kind of a who's been clean longer competition. I just wanted to be clean. I just didn't want to get high anymore. And so in 2010, I went to a Promise Keepers meeting and I became born again. I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Now, you would think that I'm about to say that something miraculous happened and, I quit doing drugs and I quit smoking cigarettes and life was amazing. But no, that didn't happen. I was still smoking cigarettes and I was most certainly still, a weekend warrior. It was a lot less. I'd say a once a month warrior. Yeah, about once a month, I would think. But don't get me wrong, I still had the desire. I still, I still liked the drug. I still wanted to get high. And I think I got high a couple of 2-3 times maybe after being saved. And I was certainly smoking still a pack and a half of cigarettes a day. So I still had active addictions in my life. But then after, some time of being saved and being more involved in my Christian walk and trying to understand this new faith that I had come to know. I realized one day, I think I was sitting on my couch and I was like, hold on a second, when's the last time I got high? I don't remember. I started thinking about it. And I went to my to my spouse at the time and I said, when's the last time I got high? And she was like, I don't know. Let me think about that. And then we went to the calendar and we kind of checked it out. And she goes, wow, it's been a few months, like several months. And I realized in that moment that my desire was removed. The desire to get high had been removed. I believe the habit could have very much still been there if I hadn't replaced the habit with something positive, like my relationship with God. You see, I believe that, you can have the desire removed, but if you don't replace your time and your thoughts and your actions towards something positive, then whether the desire is removed or not, you're still going to have the habit. But I had already replaced the habit through my active relationship with God, but the desire was gone. And I realized it really does come down to the desire, because desire is what holds us to things. If you're in a bad relationship with a spouse, if you've got a relationship going on that isn't right, you know you can do better, but you desire that individual, whether it's a sexual desire, whether it's an intellectual desire, whether it's financial, whatever it is. I mean, there's a desire that holds you to the things that we know are infecting us. If you're in a relationship that is infecting you in a negative way, the only reason why you're probably still in it is there is a desire to still be in that relationship. And I came to realize that was the very, very element of addiction that holds us to these addictions, is our desires. And so I believe God removed my desire. I believe that the desire was removed from me, because it was very, very weird. It was almost like I had this moment of clarity where I realized I didn't desire the drug. And that was very strange to me, because trust me, when I wanted to get high, I would get high. There was nobody stopping me. And I had the money, and it wasn't a question of could I, it was a question of why couldn't I? And it was all about my desire. The desire would, get me to pick up my phone and call my dealer, or get me to pick up my car keys and go pick up some drugs. It was the desire. The desire had control over me. And so what I would say is that if you are a drug addict, or if you're in any kind of relationship, because that's what addiction is, it's relationship. You're having a relationship with the drug. As a matter of fact, it's such a relationship that if you're in a physical relationship with another human being, or in a relationship with God, or a relationship, in your employment, and you're doing drugs, you have an addiction to something outside of your normal relationships, you're cheating on those relationships. That's right. I was cheating on God. If I was going to get high, I would be cheating on my relationship with God. Every single time I got high in my physical relationship with my spouse at the time, that was me cheating on her. Addictions are us cheating outside of the relationships that should matter. You're having a relationship with yourself. Human beings are not one-dimensional. You're in a relationship with your spirit, with your soul, with your thoughts, with your physicality. You are in a relationship with every fiber of your being, with every element of who you are. And so when you come outside of relationship, the relationships that should matter, and you begin relationship with addiction, you're cheating. That's a form of betrayal. So what I would say to you is this, is that you have to pinpoint the desire. You have to realize that you are in a relationship with your addiction. You have to recognize that the only reason why you would be in a relationship with something so destructive and so negative in your life is because of the desire. You have a desire for it. You're not stupid. You don't have an issue with realizing it's bad. You know it's bad, but it's the desire. So you have to somehow remove the desire. For me, it was God. God removed the desire. It was that simple. That's why a lot of times in these 12-step programs, whether it's AA, CA, or CC, or whatever these programs are, they one of the very first things that they say that you need is a higher power. And what I would say is that there is no greater higher power than God. And if you are going to get serious about having the desire removed, then I would suggest that you get serious about speaking to the most important relationship you'll ever have in this life, and that is your relationship with God. So that's my story. I hope that for somebody it helped. If anybody has any personal questions or wants any advice or extensive wisdom, I have a little bit of wisdom. If anybody cares for any more wisdom in respects to this issue, feel free to contact me. I would love to be that part of your life that we would be able to remove your desire, or that we would be able to remove your addiction, that you could finally be set free and enjoy the most important relationships in your life. God bless and have a wonderful day.